By Taboola sponsored links promoted links. It's like eBay, but everything sells in 90 seconds. Tofata 20 celebrities whose siblings are more attractive than their hoochie father. Stricken with grief and anger, Fred Guttenberg could barely contain himself. His daughter Jaime, a beautiful 14-year-old with her whole life ahead of her, went to school on Wednesday morning and didn't come home. Advertising invented by teens, she was one of the 17 in yet another mass shooting in the United States, carried out by a deranged man who was legally able to buy an AR-15 assault rifle. Hours earlier, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz was described as a broken human being by his lawyer after he appeared in court charged with murder. But at a candlelit vigil in Parkland, Florida, last night there were hundreds of parents, friends and teachers trying to come to terms with unimaginable horror. "This makes no sense, my 14-year-old baby," began Mr. Guttenberg, his voice cracking with emotion. "She was supposed to be safe. What is unfathomable is Jaime took a bullet and is dead. I don't know what I do next. My wife is home, we are broken. But I can tell you. Don't tell me there's no such thing as gun violence. It happened in Parkland. It comes as police have yet to offer any concrete motive for the gun rampage at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School where Cruz had been a pupil until he was expelled. Cruz threw smoke grenades into the corridors, setting off the fire alarm, then opened fire on students and staff as they left classrooms. The FBI confirmed today it had been warned about an ominous online comment made by Cruz last September. "I'm going to be a professional school shooter," Cruz wrote on a YouTube video. The video's original poster, Ben Bennett, was so troubled by the comment he said he passed it on to the FBI. No other information was included with that comment which would indicate a time, location or the true identity of the person who made the comment, FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Lasky told reporters. Investigators were unable to find the commenter, he added. Video will play in Watch Again. Florida high school shooter appears in court for the first time. Share this video. Watch next. We pay for stories. Send your videos to video@trinitymirror.com. The FBI is conducting an extensive review of how it handled that tip to see if mistakes were made, a federal law enforcement official told Reuters. Wednesday's shooting was the 18th in a U.S. school this year, according to gun control group Everytown for Gun Safety. It stirred the long-simmering U.S. debate on the right to bear arms, which is protected by the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. President Donald Trump addressed the shooting in a White House speech that emphasized school safety and mental health while avoiding any mention of gun policy. "It is not enough to simply take actions that make us feel like we are making a difference," Trump said at the White House. "We must actually make that difference." Broward County School Superintendent Robert Runcie called for action on gun laws. "Now is the time for this country to have a real conversation on sensible gun control laws," Runcie told a news conference. Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives criticized the Republican leadership for refusing to take up legislation on tightening background checks for prospective gun buyers. "It's appalling," Representative Mike Thompson told reporters. 30 people every day are dead by someone using a gun, and the best we can do is say, we need more information. The Republican-controlled Congress last year revoked Obama-era regulations meant to make it harder for those with severe mental illness to pass FBI background checks for guns, saying the rule deprived the mentally ill of their gun rights. At least one member of Trump's cabinet called for action. "Personally, I think the gun violence, it's a tragedy what we've seen yesterday, and I urge Congress to look at these issues," said Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin. 15 people were injured in Wednesday's shooting, according to local hospital officials. Cruz's court-appointed lawyer said he had expressed remorse for his crimes. "He's a broken human being," public defender Melissa McNeil told reporters. "He's sad, he's mournful, he's remorseful." Cruz loved guns and had been expelled from high school for disciplinary reasons, police and former classmates said. Cruz told police that he had carried out the attack, according to an arrest document released on Thursday, which noted that he made that admission after being advised of his right not to incriminate himself. The document noted that Cruz took an Uber to the school and carried extra-loaded ammunition clips. In a brief court appearance, Cruz spoke only 2 words, "Yes, Mom," when a judge asked him to confirm his name. He was ordered held without bond. Video will play in Watch Again. Florida school shooter ran away with other students after attack before going to McDonald's. Share this video. Watch next. We pay for stories. Send your videos to video@trinitymirror.com. Cruz had recently moved in with another family after his mother's in November, according to Jim Lewis, a lawyer representing the family, bringing his AR-15 along with his other belongings. The family believed Cruz was depressed, but attributed that to his mother's, not mental illness, Lewis said. Victims included an assistant football coach who sheltered students, a social science teacher and multiple students. People who live on same street as Cruz said he alarmed them by shooting squirrels and rabbits in the neighborhood as well as chickens being raised in a nearby backyard. Several times a year, they observed law enforcement officials at his house. Killing animals was no problem for this young man, said Rhonda Roxburgh, 45, who lived on the block for several years and whose parents continued to live there.